Hey everybody, it's Jillian Stone. I'm so excited to be with you guys this morning because we are starting a brand new book today. We are starting the book of Hosea and we are going through chapters 1 through 3. I'm really excited you're here. Let's get started. So I'm really stoked because we are entering into some of the minor prophets. I think that these books do not get as much attention in especially the modern day church. And so for me to be starting the minor prophets and to be going through them verse by verse with you guys as well as myself, because this is where I currently am at in my Bible. I think that it's going to give us a lot more wisdom, and I think it's going to give us a lot more context for, the days to come. I think that going verse by verse kind of just leaves, really the only ability for the Bible to interpret itself, not us interpreting the Bible for it. We're just going strictly word by word, and we are going to depend on the Lord to ultimately give us the wisdom that we need to really lead our walk in these days. I don't think that there is ever a better time to start doing this than now. So if you have never read from the minor prophets, I have never studied them. If you've never read or you've never studied, then this is the best place for you. But I did want to also make sure to invite you guys to my Bible study community page, which is on the alabasterpodcast.com/groups. Here you can literally interact with me every single time I go live with a new post, and we discuss what we learned in each book. So today we'll be going through Hosea 1 through 3. And so I'll be posting a little comment and you guys can interact with that, interact with each other, introduce yourself and create a new friend, a new friendship, a new community, etc. There is so many abilities to do that. We are so spread so few and far between that, now more than ever before, we need those friends, whether or not they're here with us in person or, they're that phone call that you make instantly and they live, hundreds to thousands of miles away. You never know. But ultimately, this is the place to join that. So if you are, someone who wants that community, please join the alabasterpodcast.com/groups page and get plugged in. I would love to have you. So I just wanted to absolutely talk about that for a little bit. And of course, the question of the day, what are you guys drinking? I'm drinking another mud water, and this one isn't as sweet as I wanted it. I was running out of maple syrup, so today it's just a little bit of maple syrup, but it's fine. So it's fine. It's fine. But I'm excited to get into this Bible study with you guys today. It's going to be really good. So let's hop into prayer and then start reading verse by verse. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for bringing us together today to just read your word verse by verse. Lord, it's so crazy to see how you operate through each prophet, Lord. And they come from so many different walks, so many different backgrounds, and some of them have a lot of similarities to each other. And they also have similarities that we can relate to personally, Lord. I know I've been able to relate to a lot of the prophets personally and emotionally. And so I thank you for allowing that to happen. The minor prophets don't get as much credit, I feel, because their books are not as long or they don't have the most popular or normalized names. And also, just the modern day church doesn't talk about them, Lord. So I ask that you use Hosea today to really bring us, honestly, a newfound humbleness, a newfound gratitude, and more wisdom using his story to help aid us in our walk today, Lord. I ask that you protect everyone spiritually as we are going verse by verse, because we know that there are, those principalities of hypnosis that make us want to go to sleep whenever we read our Bible, or make us want to just turn away and get distracted. Lord, I just ask that you pray against the principalities of the air that are striving to make us disobedient. So I ask that you just send your angels to aid us in this time, to encourage us in this time, to bring us determination to be close to you and to be loyal to you only. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. I'm excited for today's Bible study. Let's jump right in.
Hosea chapter 1. The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea,
Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord.
So he went and took Gomer the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him,
Call his name Jezreel. For yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day, that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him,
Call her name Lo-ruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
Now when she had weaned Lo-ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God,
Call his name Lo-ammi, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
So I know that it is so crazy to think about this, because it's like, how, why would the Lord cause one of the prophets to marry someone like Gomer? And I was looking up in the Hebrew what each name meant. And it's very significant. Gomer means completion in Hebrew. And so I believe that when Hosea was marrying Gomer and made her his wife, I think that it almost represents a symbol of Hosea's obedience. And so he completed his assignment for that. Now, each child's name means something different as well. Jezreel means God sows, and I think it's Ruhaman. Lo Ru. I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. It means no mercy. And lo am I means not my people. So each one of the names means something different. But I know that at the end of chapter 1, we are seeing that in verse 10, ultimately God's plan is for Israel to become his people, the Lord's people again. And so what's interesting though is that you can already see kind of like a spiritual heritage of Israel forming in verse 10. It's not talking about basically the entirety of Israel as a nation. However, it is talking about how, Israel and Judah were acting as though they were not God's people. Okay. So there's a reason for Lo am I to be here and to, have significance in this. So we can already see that spiritual Israel start to form. And, it's making me question, whether or not it's kind of all by design for, Hosea to not be as popular or to not be as read, or even be spoken about in the churches because of this truth here. And this is just me thinking aloud. So let's continue on to chapter 2.
This is the quickest way to go from AI beginner.
There it shall be said unto them, be gathered together, and
Here we go.
Hosea chapter 2.
say ye unto your brethren, Am I? And to your sisters, Ruhamah. Plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband.
Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother hath played the harlot. She that conceived them hath done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn, and wine, and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of mine hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, These are my rewards that my lovers have given me. And I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them. And she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgat me, saith the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishai, and shalt call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment, and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord.
And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord. I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, Thou art my people. And they shall say, Thou art my God.
So obviously we're seeing kind of a pretty explicit thing here with Gomer, the symbolism and why she's here, why God chose her for Hosea to marry. Gomer is a representation of Israel in every way. And I just can't help but think that this is a really great spot to really write down, all of these character attributes of her sin and what she is doing, going after different outlets rather than her husband. Same as the way that Israel went and worshiped other gods, had other idols, had other strongholds, and forgot about God. Where have we been like Gomer in character? This is a time to look inward and to ask the Lord this. Now it's the time to really have a heart towards wanting to only have the Lord as the thing that we follow and cling on to and give credit to. Because I was just thinking about this, like the mentality of, I can do this myself, I can do everything myself. You're holding yourself now as an idol. You're holding the things that you do as the only things that are able to get things done. This is, Satanism 101. And it's really interesting to look inward at that and see, we shouldn't be acting like that at all. We shouldn't only be giving credit to ourselves. We shouldn't be putting trust in man to get things done for us. The Lord ultimately is what gives us all of our blessings. And so I think that for Hosea to have to go through so much of this, he can spiritually relate to God in this way. He's being put in the same exact position that God is in, because as Hosea's wife is ultimately, being completely untrustworthy, promiscuous, adulterous, etc., God is experiencing his bride, the church, do the exact same thing. So when we are looking at all of these things here, all of these verses, it's a really good time to take notes, because it's very clear to me that Hosea and his specific mission was very intentional. So let's look further here. Chapter 3.
Hosea chapter 3.
Then said the Lord unto me,
Go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of the Lord toward the children of Israel, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine.
So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for an homer of barley, and an half homer of barley. And I said unto her, Thou shalt abide for me many days. Thou shalt not play the harlot, and thou shalt not be for another man, so will I also be for thee. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
These 100% grass-fed beef sticks from Paleo Valley are 30 sticks for just $36 right now. But before you go and try...
Sorry, you guys, I just double clicked. So that was obviously chapter 3. It was very, very short. I did not anticipate on how short it was, actually. But I actually wanted to look this tidbit up, because I actually don't know when Hosea actually lived. But I believe that is pretty relevant here, because he mentions King David. When did Hosea live? Let's see. Jeroboam. His ministry overlapped with the reigns of Jeroboam II, Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah in Judah. Okay, so that's like after, that's after David. So, okay. Pretty anticlimactic there. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this specific Bible study today, because we are learning a lot actually about, the character of Israel. We are learning a lot about really just where we should be looking inward the kind of context title of chapter 4, which we'll pick up on Friday, is that the people do not know God in the land. And so I think that's a really good place to pick up, because ultimately, when this is actually a very good analogy for marriage, because, when you are adulterous and when you are going after, other outlets that are not your husband, you are not making an attempt to know your husband. You are not allowing for, a spiritual marriage to be formed when you do not know your husband. And the same thing with husbands and their wives. You do not know your wife if you are, going after other outlets. You do not truly love her. And it's, kind of hard to really grasp those harsh words, but they are nevertheless true, because it's the way that God describes Israel time and time again. And so I think that, in a way, this chapter, or this book, might even heal some marriages, might heal some relationships. And for that's pretty awesome. So before I close out, I'm going to go ahead and play my affiliates video for you guys, as well as give you guys an update for what is to come on my channel. If you're like me and you are growing just more and more distrusting of the systematic structure of Western medicine, but you are still wanting a home protocol to use when something goes wrong, or when we are now reaching that 6th season, you could reach out to the Wellness Company for all of your needs. Whether you are wanting to buy a contagion kit or even your basic medical emergency kit, the Wellness Company has everything that meets your needs, from supplements to parasite cleanses, and even supplements and vitamins for children. The Wellness Company is an amazing company that I just wanted to reach out to get an affiliate code so that you guys can be prepared in your own home for any situation. So for that, you can use my code Jillian at checkout for 10% off your first order, or you can go to twc.health/Jillian for that same exact 10% off. That is twc.health/Jillian. I've been using Needed for quite some time now, and after I started taking their prenatals, I knew that I had to reach out to them for direct collaboration, because they were just that amazing. There is certainly something for everyone. You can visit the Needed website and use my code Jillian at checkout for 20% off your first order. That is Jillian at checkout for 20% off your first order. If you're like me and you are really into skincare, but you've been looking for products that meet the ingredient requirements for living biblically clean, and on top of that, just a non-toxic lifestyle as a whole, I highly recommend Primally Pure. Primally Pure has everything from specific antioxidant balms that work as a non-toxic Botox, to even just pregnancy-safe oils for your skin, like what I am using currently right now. They have everything from deodorant to candles. You can check it out right now by visiting Primally Pure's website, and you can use my code STONE for a percentage off of your order. That is code STONE for a percentage. Awesome. Okay, some quick updates. So there will be a video on Thursday that is coming. I am interviewing a really amazing woman. Her name is Melissa, and she is so I love her so much. She has been such a blessing to my life so far, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear her testimony. It's just absolutely amazing what the Lord can bring people to do, and a lot of it is actually based around her genetics. So we talk a little bit about that, but it's one of those things that, today we need some people that, ultimately we can look to for sound biblical teaching. And so I've always been, on the hunt for that, and on the search for, finding people who are like-minded in this community, because there is so many voices that are just not of the Lord. And so I am really excited to bring that video to you. That is coming tomorrow, and it'll air at, I think, around 2 p.m. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But I'm going to log off here. This is a quick stream, but it was really great. And I am just very grateful for the ability to do this on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and you can catch me on my website as I talk a little bit about this, what we learned today in depth. So love you guys. Talk to you later.